Alright, giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Okakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that told me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kwadash Poya. And as you can see here, this is a screenshot that I seen on IG, where they shared tweets of Elon Musk, basically speaking on civil war. And as you can see, people asking, why exactly is Elon Musk trying to instigate a civil war in Europe? And that's happening. You got civil war over in UK, Venezuela, and other places as well. And that's going to escalate, right? Due to political reasons, economical reasons. But nonetheless, it's prophetic, right? And on the top I put the same man who endorsed Trump. What happens overseas comes back to America. And it's almost as if these things that are instigated in the overseas are like basically, I say trial runs, but nonetheless, that's also, the scripture where it speaks about, matter of fact, let's get that real quick. That's in the book of Second Esdras. Second Esdras 13, verse number 31. It says, and one, matter of fact, let's start at 29. It says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth, which is the elect, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one, here's the point, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, right? And that's conflict. You're gonna see, you've seen it on a global scale. Conflict, neighbors against neighbors, protests, riots, civil, which will escalate to bringing the National Guards, alluding to even martial law when things get worse. And as you see, his tweets, Europe appears to be headed for civil war, whatever. He keeps saying it. And you have a lot of migrants that went to these different European countries, as well as primarily America over here, Babylon the Great, where they were shipped over here in the boatloads, which we believe those are something cells. Forget the name of it, but like they're soldiers basically, where they will cause conflict, because that's how society is basically crumbling from the inside out, with these migrants. And you have civilians, or citizens rather, that was, whether born in that place, people, tax-paying, citizens, so to speak, that are destroying these different buildings, hotels that the migrants stay in. I believe they had killed a girl or something to that nature, and that's what sparked things up. Yeah, and then Elon Musk endorsing Trump after the whole him talking about the crypto, the Bitcoin or whatever. And right after that, you had the Dow Jones plunging, in the stock market, which is affecting people's livelihoods, the housing markets, different companies losing a lot of money, right? And not too long before that, you know, you had a lot of banks in each states, closing. And with America being in debt that they cannot even pay, they printing out all this money to send out, but all that's doing is devaluing the dollar, which ultimately will cause hyperinflation, you know, and businesses could be lost like that, to where the economy could crash because this place is credit, basically a credit-based society, you know. And people don't even want to take loans out. People don't want to get credit cards anymore. You have all these high interest rates, you know what I mean, which is usually in the scriptures, you know, say you take out $1,000. I mean, you're gonna have to pay $2,000 back. You keep loaning, you can't pay all of it back. So, you know, that's gonna cause people to sell their businesses or sell their homes or whatever before they lose it, and others won't even be able to invest in that because they're broke. But that's all. Just like in the early 80s, the 90s, early 2000s, you had these different recessions to where, there was rationing to the point where, you was limited to get certain amount of gas in your car, take out a certain amount of funds in your own bank, which is your own money, rationing food, goods, necessities, if you will, and that's going to cause people to uproar as well, right? As a matter of fact, let's get and then Elon Musk, with his neural links, the implants with the digital that digital device, pursuing the Revelation 13, right? So we'll see where that takes off. That's prophecy. Alright, so let's Salakia 15 and verse 14. Second Ezra 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right? What you think that is? Civil conflict, and people can't eat. Hey, things are about to become to the point of anarchy, a lawless society, right? As things progressively gets worse to where they bring in these draconian laws, because that's all it is, order out of chaos, right? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And people's not going to care about these politicians, these rich people, And I showed you that where all these Trump supporters, running down in the Capitol building and whatnot. So if Trump don't win, what you think that's going to cause, right? The mega boys or the whatever. So it says a man shall let's go to matter of fact, let's keep reading. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Things will be blocked. Border patrols. Even in the U.S., you go into another city, can't, take a plane or whatever. Things of that nature, because things are gonna get, be shut down, and then you have a whole new. You're speaking about a whole new V. Virus spreader. Right? It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right? Here's the point. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Alright? So, for the lack of bread, things will crash. That's why, let me get this scripture real quick. The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 4. Riches profit not in a day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death, right? So, doing that which is pleasing in the sight of the Lord, doing His will, right? Prophesying, in the true name and in true doctrine, in sincerity and faith, man, that's what's going to deliver you. The riches of this place is not even real riches. Federal Reserve notes, is a debt-based note, Real riches is gold, silver, owning land, which we don't own nothing here. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, which are the biblical Israelites, what do you really own, right? You still got to pay land taxes. You still got to pay this tax, that tax, you know, constantly taxing you. We don't own nothing. Cattle, owning cattle, slaves, right? Scriptures tell you, the riches of Job, what he had, what he possessed, Abraham, right? Hey, look at King Solomon. He had no Federal Reserve notes. But yeah, so even going back to these migrants, man, you have these laws that they passing where something called squatting. Basically, you got people complaining about fucking, so-called immigrants or migrants, which a lot of them are jakes, they sleeping in people's, sheds or garages, and by law you can't even kick them out. So that's crazy, because what if you got kids? What if you got strangers sleeping in the back room? You're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, outside on your porch and shit, But you can call the cops. Oh, we can't do nothing about it. So that's going to steer up a whole nother mess as well. You know what I mean? So, you gotta understand, scriptures say, be not ignorant of anything small or great. So you can understand watching these events and filtering it through the scriptures to get a bigger picture. Like, oh, okay, that makes sense why that's happening. Why? Because it's all prophetic. And people are so distracted by this whole voting, election is coming up. It's all a distraction from what's really going on, the wars that's happening between Israel and Iran, as well as things that are accumulating with Russia, sending all these different, you know, military weapons and whatnot to Iran. And then you have NATO now giving up over the Middle East to fight with Ukraine and whatnot. So we'll see what happens, But we know that World War III is at hand. But the Lord's holding that back because He's going before World War III really pops off. The MOTB has to come, Hour of Temptation, you know. So all this disaster is about to happen. Why you think these a lot of these elites are investing in these $1 million bunkers? James 5:1, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupt, and your garments are moth eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasures, Salaka, ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. And, everything these elites all the gold, even to the lands, to the stones, to all that. They're gonna have to give that back, in the time of their slavery, in the time of their captivity. Scripture say, "He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity." And you could read that in the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. You know, because their deeds are not gonna go unpunished. These elites, they gonna be in chains soon. They're gonna be the servants. You know what I mean? But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to bring this out real quick. Hopefully it was edifying, straight to the point. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom.